What's going on, You Versus Life family? Today I want to talk about a very important subject. Today I want to talk about forgiveness and how powerful and how important it is to forgive someone who has caused you harm or hurt. Now, a few weeks ago I did a video on atonement and the power and the importance of atoning for what you've done to someone else. And in that video, I discussed that a lot of people are walking around today carrying around a lot of hurt because the individual or individuals who caused that hurt never atoned for what they did. So therefore, sometimes they're projecting that hurt onto other people who have nothing to do with what they're feeling or how they see things. On the other side of that is forgiveness. Forgiveness is very difficult. Everyone struggles with it, especially if someone really caused you real hurt. I'm not referring to something minute. I'm talking about deep-rooted hurt. People out here have been through some terrible things. Unfortunately, there are people out here who do terrible, harmful things to other people. The reasons are irrelevant. Wrong is wrong. And we often throw the word forgiveness around so easily, but if we're to be honest, we have to realize how hard it is to forgive on certain situations and on particular things. However, it's extremely important. And today I want to talk about why forgiveness is so important from the standpoint and from the point of view of yourself. You see, forgiving is very powerful because when you forgive someone, when you sincerely forgive someone for what they did to you, how they hurt you or how they wronged you, you therefore relinquish the power that situation was holding over you. Whether you want to acknowledge it or not, if you've never forgiven someone for what they did to you, in turn, that situation, what happened, still controls you to that very day. You're still walking around carrying that hurt and that resentment towards that person and that hurt because of that situation. And it's controlling you and how you navigate through life. Now, some people are able to mask it a little bit better than others, but it's still there. And every now and then, in certain circumstances, it will rear its ugly head. But see, when you forgive someone, don't focus and don't think about it from the aspect of the other person. Don't think about it in the way that you are letting someone or the person who caused you the hurt off the hook. They're still dealing with it. But you have to leave that up to them. When you forgive someone, you want to do it because you want to move on with the rest of your life. I also did a video a few months ago about your personal battle and how you can't let your personal battle determine who you are character-wise. And forgiveness goes along the same road as well. You can't let a situation or a person that has hurt you in the past control every single aspect of your life and define who you are. Because that's not who you really are. You're letting the situation, you're letting the hurt speak for who you really are. You're letting that hurt or that situation be your representation. So when you forgive someone, what you're really doing is you're saying, I'm no longer letting this situation, this pain, this hurt, this discomfort control my life. I am moving on. So yes, as much as you hurt me, as much pain as you caused me, as much trauma as you have caused me, I'm making a decision today to leave that in the past and move forward. Because what you did to me does not define who I am. That's the power of forgiveness. Atonement is important. And like I mentioned in the previous video on atonement, it should be done because you don't want the person who you hurt to go out and put that hurt on someone else who had nothing to do with the situation. However, once that person atones, and even if that person does not atone for what you went through and endured, still forgive. Forgive for yourself. I know people personally, and I know people professionally in the field that I work in. I work in the counseling field, where they've experienced something from a very young age, and they're still dealing with it every single day of their lives. And they have not been able to grow and become the person that they're destined to become because they can't get over that situation. They can't forgive that person for what they did to them. And I understand. There are some terrible things happening to people out here. But you only get one shot at this thing called life. And you don't want your one shot to be sabotaged for the behavior of someone else. You had no control over what that person did to you, but you do have control over how you deal with it and how you move forward. So once again, I'm begging you. I know it's hard. Forgive, not for that person, but for yourself. Don't let that situation define who you are. Don't stop giving that situation so much power and authority over your life. Forgive. Don't forget, but forgive. And don't forget because you don't want that to completely leave your psyche. And you don't want to forget because you want to make sure that what you went through, you never put it on someone else. That's why you don't forget. We throw that saying out a lot, forgive, not forget, but we really don't understand what it means. The not forget part means don't forget because you don't want to duplicate that behavior. So, once again, yes, that person should atone for what they did to you. But if they don't, still find it in your heart to forgive them so you can move forward with your life and become the absolute best version of yourself. This is You versus Life. I am Joseph. Happiness, freedom, and prosperity for everyone. And happiness, freedom, and prosperity will be yours once you forgive that person who hurt you and you take back the power and you decide how your life will be going forward. I'll see you next time.